I love free samples. That's how they got me. It was one of those high-end beauty boutiques, the kind that smelled like rosewater and money. Too expensive, too pristine, too sterile for someone like me. I usually walked right past places like that, but today, something made me pause. Maybe it was the woman standing outside, her tray gleaming under the store's bright lights. Maybe it was the way she smiled, knowing, like she was offering a secret. "Revolutionary skin renewal," she said, pressing a tiny black bottle into my palm. "You won't believe the results." The bottle was sleek, glossy, and completely blank. No label, no branding, no fine print. "It works overnight," she added, her smile stretching a little too wide. I should have asked questions. I should have wondered why a luxury store was handing out freebies with no brand name. But I just nodded and thanked her. I liked free stuff. That was enough for me. That night, I turned the bottle over in my hands, studying it. The liquid inside was thick, dark, like melted onyx. It had a faint metallic scent, like rain hitting hot pavement. For a moment, my stomach twisted with hesitation. Something about it felt off. I shook my head, pushing the thought away. I was being paranoid. I unscrewed the cap, tipped a few drops onto my fingers, and smoothed it over my face. A tingle spread instantly, cool at first, then sharper. It felt like tiny needles dancing over my skin. Probably just the active ingredients, I told myself. That's how you knew it was working, right? I went to bed thinking about how nice it would be to wake up with perfect skin. Morning light streamed through my window. I sat up, rubbing my eyes, and reached for my phone. Something felt different. My skin was light, not in color, but in weight, like I wasn't even wearing it. I stood slowly and shuffled to the mirror, still half asleep. When I flicked on the bathroom light, I froze. My reflection stared back, flawless. Too flawless. My skin was smooth, poreless, airbrushed to perfection. Every blemish, every fine line, gone. It was like I'd been edited, photoshopped into something better. A thrill shot through me. It worked. It actually worked. I lifted a hand to touch my cheek and froze. I couldn't feel my fingers. My breath caught in my throat. I pressed harder, dragging my fingertips down my face. Still nothing. No sensation. Panic crawled up my spine. I flexed my jaw, trying to open my mouth, but my lips barely parted. I blinked rapidly, but my eyelids didn't move. My reflection stared back, frozen. I wanted to scream, but my throat stayed locked. My pulse pounded in my ears. My fingers, my lips, my eyelids, none of them felt like mine anymore. My hands trembled as I reached up, pressing against my face. The skin didn't stretch. It didn't crease. It was as if I was touching something artificial, something dead. I turned to the sink, fumbling for water, but my fingers barely curled around the faucet. My grip was weak, foreign. My own hands felt like mannequin hands, stiff, unresponsive. The tiny black bottle sat on the counter, glistening under the fluorescent light. My mind raced. What had I put on my face? What was it doing to me? And then I felt it. A deep, crawling sensation beneath the surface. Something moved. Not my muscles. Not me. A whimper died in my throat as a thin line formed along my cheekbone. A seam. Fine. Precise. Like a crack in porcelain. The perfect, unblemished skin wasn't mine anymore. It belonged to something else. And it was waking up. My pulse hammered as I staggered backward. The sensation beneath my skin grew stronger, like tiny legs scuttling just under the surface. I clawed at my cheek, desperate to peel it away, but my fingernails barely left a mark. Then the seam split wider. I watched in horror as my perfect, flawless skin began to peel. No, not peel. It unfolded, like something was stepping out. A scream built in my chest, but my lips wouldn't part. My throat wouldn't make a sound. All I could do was watch as the skin I had so admired so foolishly thought was my own, rippled and tore like a cocoon splitting open. A shape moved beneath the surface, shifting, stretching, pressing outward. My reflection distorted, stretching unnaturally as whatever was underneath pushed through. Then, with a wet, sickening rip, the first piece of my old face slid away. Beneath it, something else stared back at me. Something smooth, glossy, not human. The serum hadn't just renewed my skin, it had replaced it. And now, whatever had been waiting beneath was finally free. I tried to run. My legs refused, my arms locked stiff at my sides. In the mirror, my reflection twitched. My lips curled into a smile, one I hadn't made. The thing wearing my face raised a hand. It waved. Then slowly, it turned and walked away, leaving me behind, trapped, silent, watching. Then the pain began. A slow, burning ache beneath my new shell, like a fire spreading under ice. I wanted to scream, but I had no voice. My reflection, no, the thing in the mirror, tilted its head, as if listening to something I couldn't hear. Its grin widened. It took another step away from me, and then another, and another. I was fading, or rather, it was replacing me completely. Darkness crept at the edges of my vision. My body, my mind, myself, all dissolving. And as the last of me slipped away, the thing in the mirror leaned close. "Thank you," it whispered, in my own voice. Then it turned away for the final time, and I was gone. Then, somewhere in the depths of my fading consciousness, I heard footsteps. Slow, deliberate. I was being carried, no, paraded, through a place I couldn't see. The weight of my body was gone. The world had shifted. And then, the familiar voice of the woman from the boutique echoed in the darkness. "Another perfect fit," she murmured. "Welcome to the collection." And the last thing I felt was 1,000 hollow eyes turning to look at me, waiting, watching, smiling. They move me sometimes. I don't know why. One moment I'm standing among the mannequins, the next, I'm in a new pose, in a different room. I never see them move me, but I always know they've been there. There's a smell, sugar and rot, and a sound like silk tearing slowly. Sometimes I can almost hear the boutique's door chime, a customer entering, a conversation, laughter, a new victim. I wish I could warn them, but all I can do is watch. One day, a girl passed by me, young. Her eyes lingered on my face. She tilted her head, confused, like she recognized me. Her hand reached out, fingers almost touching mine. Then the woman stepped in. The smile, the bottle, and the girl followed. They always follow. Time doesn't move the same here. I don't sleep. I don't eat. I don't breathe. But I feel the weight of eternity pressing down, suffocating in its silence. Every so often I think I hear my name, faint, distant, like someone calling me from another world. I cling to those moments. They're the only proof I existed, that I was ever real. One day I heard a different sound, a tearing, a ripping noise from the far end of the gallery. I strained to see, but I couldn't move. Then a shadow passed behind the rows of mannequins. Something new. A ripple of unease moved through the others. I could feel it. Even though we were all frozen, we knew something was wrong. And then it appeared. A figure. Not like the others. Not like the woman. Taller. Wrapped in cloth that twitched and writhed. It glided silently between us, pausing every now and then to stare, to sniff. It was looking for something, or someone. And when it reached me, it stopped. For the first time in forever, I felt cold. Real. Biting cold. It looked at me, tilted its head, raised a finger, and tapped my forehead once. Then it moved on. I don't know what it was, but since that day, I felt different, like I've been marked, or chosen. There are more bottles now, not just black. Some are red, blue, silver. They shimmer in the dark, and sometimes they whisper, Not in words, but in impulses, images. Each one is a prison, a doorway, a trap, and they're multiplying. I don't know how many of us there are, but we're not alone. Not anymore. Something's changing. The boutique is growing, stretching. The halls go deeper, the rooms change when no one's looking. Sometimes I think I see cracks in the floor, light bleeding through. And I hope that something will break it, set us free. But hope is dangerous here. It tastes sweet, and then it rots you from the inside. Still, I hope. Because what else is there to do when you are a face without a soul, a smile without a voice, a memory trapped in glass?